You know, earlier you talked about we were talking about the legislative session.
Yeah.
And 2 legislative sessions ago, we were talking about how Representative Kalani identified me in the JDFI testimony as the expert.
Yes.
And I believe it was to one of the Texas Family Law Foundation attorneys.
Yeah, boy, that really got him upset.
From Houston.
Yeah.
And
Gaston, maybe? I don't know.
I don't remember the name, was it? Okay.
It may have been, I don't know.
So the last legislative session, after we had already signed the agreed custody order, Dr. Alissa Sherry was in that JDFI meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And she testified.
Yeah.
And she said, we have the recording. On one side, we have the father's rights group people. On the other side, we have the domestic rights group people. Well, that was false.
That was, yeah.
I wasn't a father's rights member.
Yeah.
The young lady that was sitting next to me, who was, she labeled herself as a reformed parental alienist.
Yeah.
Who was also testifying for equality in parenting.
Yeah.
Several of the people in front of me weren't father's rights group advocates. And the people to the other side, I didn't remember them at all being domestic violence advocates whatsoever.
No.
But I found it interesting that she labeled them this dichotomy when that dichotomy didn't exist.
Yeah.
And she said she deconstructed all of the research. And she said to the effect that the one thing that was paramount above others was parental conflict. Well, all of the research doesn't show that. Parental conflict is a very important factor, although, again, the consensus is when you deconstruct it properly, with Warshak's research particularly, Kruk's research, Linda Nielsen's research, Fabricius' research, although Fabricius usually talks about more early attachment, early child bonding, early overnights. I think Maelstrom's research is another expert. I mean, the consensus is across the world that when there is equalized, maximized shared parenting, the level of conflict is going to decrease.
Yeah.
And follow-up from Arizona shows that.
Yeah.
And it even shows, follow-up from Arizona, that the profession at least favors shared parenting. It's not the judges, not the caseworkers, but the family law attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is always the family law attorneys. In fact, I could speak a whole lot about them, that, with the whole Texas Family Law Foundation's bad bills we killed for you. The bad bills that they killed were good bills for the family, bad bills for the divorce attorneys, bad bills for the family law attorneys. But what it's going to also say too is that, when I came in here, it's interesting that Dr. Alissa Sherry talked about you as being in control. I did not witness that here, but what I do when I go into houses a lot of times, you may have seen me, I look at pictures. And there are many pictures of family, but a lot of the pictures are you and your son enjoying life. And I looked on your refrigerator, and your son has written down, "I love you, Dad and Mom."
Yeah.
Love them both.
Yeah, he has a good attachment with both parents in the current situation.
And that's what it should be. But then as well, you've gone to places like you told me you go to school to volunteer to help mentor people.
The students, all the different classrooms I go.
And it's at the school. You've been doing that, but your son is at the school as well. And you were actually in a class with your son. How did he respond when he saw you there?
Oh, he was very excited, and I understood that he was sad after I left. But that's something to prepare him for, so he knows that he's a student, and I'm just another person in the classroom.
Yeah. But you're still his dad, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's never going to change.
Yeah, and it's good. He has an attachment.
Yeah.
He loves his mom. He loves his dad, and that's what's really important for kids, that they have that attachment. They have that support from both parents.
But what I don't like.